Well, we here with the AEW Dynamite recap tonight. It's an interesting show. That's what I'll say about it. We're just gonna get right into it. You clearly see the demeanor I got. I think you know how that main event went, but we gonna get there because I I got some stuff to say about tonight's show. I saw some people complaining about the opening. I liked it. I thought it was good for what it was. I'm not hating on it at all. Jericho comes out. He's the face-to-face with Daniel Garcia. That's what we get in here. He calls out Garcia. And he just basically lets him know, hey, you can apologize to me for what happened last week. And then Daniel Garcia is like, hey, that match was special to me. That moment was special to me. That's my hero. Bryan Danielson's my hero. And when he stuck his hand out, that was a special moment for me, and you ruined it. Out comes Bryan Danielson. He comes out, and he's backing up Daniel Garza. So, here we go. Thank you, babe. Thank you, babe. You looking good as well. As always, much better than I. Obviously, yeah, that's the case. But, so... Bryan Danielson and Jericho go back and forth a little bit. Then Daniel Garcia goes, yo, I'm not choosing between the two of you. I got my mentor. I got my hero. I'm just not doing it. And then he ends up pushing Jericho to the ground and he leaves. Jericho's looking shocked. And then he gets up. Then him and Bryan Danielson go back and forth, yada, yada, yada. Chris Jericho claims he's a better wrestler than Bryan Danielson. That's laughable on any day, every day that ends in a Y. I don't know else how to spin it. It's just hilarious for anyone to even fathom that that's a real thing. And then he brings up the Stu Hart being the last survivor of the Hart Dungeon. And Bryan Danielson's like, if we could ask Stu who the better wrestler was, who do you think he'd say? Who else did he bring up? He said, I can't even remember. But he went at Jericho about, you ain't a better wrestler than me. And it's factual. We all know that. Challenge was laid down for All Out. It's happening. Jericho versus Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, whatever one we want to call it. That's happening at All Out. And then Jericho says, but just watch your back. And then Jake Hager comes in, takes out Bryan Danielson, and they leave. So they're going to bring out the Lionheart for this one. Yeah, hopefully it looks better than the last time he was Lionheart because everyone praised the match. Jericho looked sluggish in that match. Did not look Lionheart to me. And obviously he's old, so I get it. But that was the other one. He goes, if we were to ask your hero, Owen, who the better wrestler was, who do you think he'd say? Yeah, he's going to say Bryan Danielson all day. And it was funny that Jericho even brings it up. But again, it's part of the gimmick. He's a sports entertainer, and it works. So I enjoyed the segment. I thought it was good. It's a decent way to open up the show. Then they followed up with the best match and my favorite part of the show tonight. And again, that's saying a lot because we know what match was on tonight. Dax versus Jay Lethal. I'm wearing the Living Legends FTR, 7-star FTR Living Legends shirts tonight. Dax is so good. He is so good. And Jay Lethal is so good. This match was just beautiful. I loved it. Sanjay Dutt getting involved kind of muddied it up a little bit, but I ain't mad. The match was so good. Solid opening segment, slow building Garcia and taking the fans right along each step of the way. Yeah, it was very good. Lethal is a guy you can put in with anyone to get a good match, solid in the ring, good. And then Dax is the same way. I can give you the same comment and just replace Lethal with Dax, and it's so good. These guys that, yeah, I see you looking, man. Not the time. Don't kick me when I'm down. Ain't no fun. I'll wrestle match between Dax. Yeah, absolutely. Again, match of the night, favorite segment of the night, everything about AEW. This was the part of the show that I was like, love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Then things kind of just went off the rail. I don't know what happened. we all know I try to keep it positive. There's not much positive to take from this show, and maybe I'll get ripped from this from AEW fan. I don't know. I'm just gonna be real with you tonight. Colton Gunn versus Billy Gunn. Okay, I'm not mad at it. Keep the story going because I like the Ass Boys or the Gun Club, whichever one you want to call them, and I like the Acclaimed. I'm not mad at a tag team program that's not revolved around the tag team titles, even though they're getting more screen time on Dynamite than the tag team champions are, which is really weird. But I'll look past it. I'm not mad at seeing the Gun Club Ass Boys taking on the Acclaimed in a program. Not mad at all. I like both teams. They're both entertaining and they're both good in the ring to the point where I'm with it. I'm with it. And since they just turned on their daddy last week, it makes sense to have him go in there, and bust his kid's ass for him. Match was nothing, really was nothing, just a bunch of just tricks and stuff. Then at some point, I like blinked and I missed it, but I guess Stokely Hathaway took out Max Caster. I don't know if he hit him with something. I don't know. He took out Max Caster, and then Q Austin Gunn coming in to take out Bowens. While this is happening, Billy Gunn's like, what's happening? He gets low blowed. Colton Gunn hits his finisher, pins him 1, 2, 3. I expect it. That's fine. Then they come in and start beating them down. Stokely gives them the cards. They're obviously joining Stokely's little clique. Okay. Then out comes Keith Lee and Swerve Scott. Why? Why? Did I miss it, David? You can let me know if I missed something. You just let me know if I missed something as to why these guys are coming down, and don't reference what happened later. I want to know if there's any prior things that happened to make this make sense. Let's see. Come on. Dax is one of the best wrestlers of 20. Yep, absolutely. Definitely my top 5. If not your top 5, I don't want to talk to you about Wrestler of the Year, at least. Daddy Ass versus Junior Ass was one of those matches. I'm not mad at the match happened. I just don't understand why any of the stuff that happened. Like, nothing about the match made sense, even though the match itself made sense to do, if that makes any sense. A lot of sense being thrown around here. I don't know. It was just weird. It was very weird how everything played out. Holy shit, the Motor Machine is the top 2. Yep. Oh, yep. I forgot to mention that part. Did I not? Yep. So after the match, I'll just backtrack real quick. After the Lethal Dax match, I was just excited about the match itself. It was really good. They announced that Motor City Machine Guns will be taking on Sanjay Dutts and the Satnam Singh guys' place in the 3-on-3 match at All Out. Why not just go ahead and do FTR versus Motor City Machine Guns and then let Wardlow defend his title because he's your champion? I don't know. They're not doing it, but that's what they're doing. Another thing about this show that is like, why? What is happening here? Yeah. I mean, the match, I'm sure the match will still be awesome. It just doesn't make sense for it to be a 3-way at this point. It doesn't make sense. Aspos versus Billy Gunn's pretty good. Warren Acclaim is doing a good job. Yeah, they're great stuff. Everyone loves the Acclaim, as do I. Yes. Scissor me, daddy. Nothing that I'm aware of between the Acclaim and Swerve. Yeah, exactly. So why? Why are they saving them? And there's a segment later I'll talk about, but it's like it's forced. Yeah. I've seen them. I'm not a big fan like everyone else is. Apparently, they're really, really, really good. So we'll see. I think I did see them at Ric Flair's last match, and they were entertaining. So FTR has been facing everybody else and busting their ass, so I'll watch them bust another tag team's ass. That's fine with me. Alex Shea just fought Alex from the World Title. Okay. That's okay. Yeah, I'm good with that. I saw that. He's good. So, from there, we go to Shivani, and he's in the back with Aussie Open, United Empire, which everyone will call, and Death Triangle, and they're just hyping up their match for tonight, which is the main event. Yes, you heard that correct. Over Mox and Punk, it is the main event. Gee, I wonder why. We'll see. I'm a hot take for that one. For fuck's sake. Sorry. Next up, Kylan King taking on Britt Baker. Okay. I like Kylan King from last week. I'm hyped for this. I like Britt Baker, obviously. Big fan of that. Okay. I'm down for this. What's happening? Oh, wait. No. I missed another thing. That's how crazy this freaking show is. I'm completely lost on things. Shivani was backstage with Thunder Rosa, and she had to drop her title. So they're going to crown another interim champion. Instead of stripping it because they didn't learn their lesson from this CM Punk Moxley nonsense stuff that's happening, they're going to go ahead and crown another interim champion. I don't get it, but that's what they're doing it. see, MC will be firing definitely Wardlow should have a title match ever. Yeah. And I defended the Wardlow momentum thing for weeks, but then now you couldn't pay me to defend that. It's stupid. Yep, and I'll get to that too. Why isn't Jade? I'll just say probably because she's a champion already, so they're not going to do that. That'd be my only thing that I'm not going to say I agree with, but that's why. It was all over the place tonight. Kylan King getting some good time and looking some good. Okay, so yeah, back to the Kylan King Britt Baker match. I was excited for it because again, what I saw of Kylan King last week, liked, big fan. On my way to being a big fan, I'll say I haven't seen enough to be a big, but I liked what I saw. I really liked what I saw. So much so that I see her on this week's show. I'm like, yes, the match was nothing. I don't know. Britt Baker seems to have lost all steam that she had. Like we ain't even getting the DMD chance from the crowd. Like they just don't care. The crowd was dead for this match, and Kylan King didn't seem to really get anything going in this match. So it was like, okay. And then that was because after the match, Britt Baker cuts a promo. She talks about, oh, when I was champ, I wrestled the whole time with a broken freaking wrist. And it was like, okay. And then they announced there's going to be a 4-way to crown the interim champion. That's right. We're interim champion number 3 on the year. And then Toni Storm comes storming out. She's part of that 4-way they're going to have. And then she's attacked by Jamie Hayter and Rebel. And they're beating down Toni Storm. And then here comes Hikaru Shida. And then the 3 girls run because it's still 3-on-1 and they just run anyway. I don't get that. But it's chicken shit heel stuff. Because the rest of the show was just like, outside the first 2 segments, I feel like I'm way more critical on things. This was just overall bad show tonight. And yeah, I can't help but, we'll get to that part too. I just can't help but just point out stuff that just is so dumb and doesn't make any sense. So yeah, at the All Out, you're going to get the 4-way for the interim women's championship. Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter. That'll be interesting having both of them in the match. I think dissension happens there. Hikaru Shida and Toni Storm. I still think Toni Storm should come out on top here. She should be the champion. She should have been the one who took the title away from Thunder Rosa. So hopefully that's what happens here. I wouldn't be mad at all right here if this is what happens. Hayter is one hard-hitting woman. I wouldn't be mad if Jamie Hayter won. I wouldn't. I think Jamie Hayter is a girl they could get behind and actually build their division with, because she's over because of what she can do, not because of promos and whatever it is that Thunder Rosa's over for. I don't even know. I don't even know why she was so over at one point, but she ain't over now. Whatever. Again, they ruined this moment. It was like I like both of these girls, and it was just like this whole match and segment was just not for me. And just to point this out again, it was all over tonight. They go, I don't know. So from there, the Acclaimed is backstage. Swerve and Keith Lee, they roll up and they're like, yo, you're welcome. We saved you. And we did it because we think you're worthy of a tag title shot at All Out. And Acclaim, like, everybody loves Acclaim. It's like, we do love the Acclaim, but it still don't explain why you did what you did, Swerve and Lee. It's like, you're so desperate for airtime on Dynamite and to defend your titles against worthy opponents that you're going out and saving people to get them. Like, that's the message that's being sent to me. Like, it doesn't make any sense. The match itself is gonna be cool. I'm all for it. I'm gonna, no complaints about the match itself happening. How we get the match though. Help me help you, Tony. Come on, man. I don't get it. So after that, it's the top of the hour, and we are going to the Jon Moxley versus CM Punk title unification match. Interesting choice to put it at the top of the hour. I was like, okay, well, they want to go ahead and keep the viewers going into the second hour. It's an hour time limit, so they want to logically give them an hour to have this match. Okay, I'm with it. I'll allow it. I won't complain, even though I've gotten plenty to complain about so far tonight. I'll see where this one is going. Match starts. Intensity. Your fans are into it. They're ready for this match. They're pumped. They're ready to go. About 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in, I don't even know. CM Punk goes for the roundhouse kick, drops down, grabs his left. The left one is what he was playing with. And I'm going to get to this point in a second, too, because I see a lot of I'll refrain. But drops down, grabs. He's hurt. Ref calls for the doctors to come over, and they're looking. John Moxley says, IDGAF. You know what that means. He just picks up Punk and just starts beating the piss out of him. Hits him with 2 of his, boom, boom, pins him. 1, 2, 3. That's your match in like 4 minutes. That's it. That was it. This match was like Sting vs. Hardy broke. Or this one, the finger poke. Like, what? What the heck is going on here? Here we go, good. Since you pointed out, I'm going to get to it right now. CM Punk broke his left foot originally. Tonight, he grabbed his left foot. When he went for that kick, they're not selling that he hurt his foot on the kick. They're selling the fact that he had a planted foot, torqued his ankle, and re-injured his foot. He sold the right foot. And I'm not pointing you out good. I'm not saying this is you. I don't know this was you. I'm just talking about the people I've seen on the Twitter machine who are just so dumb to jump to the fact that he sold the wrong foot because he kicked with that one. You don't understand it. You're not paying attention, or you're just being overly critical and dumb, and not even overly critical. It doesn't even make sense because you're not paying attention. He broke his left foot. He torqued his left foot. He grabbed his left foot. It all works. End of the line. That's it. Yes, that was the one where Hardy was drunk. Broke his foot. I don't even know. A lot more to this Punk situation than meets eye, but if they knew this is how long Punk could go, taking this time off, pay-per-view was the right move. No info on what. I don't want to speculate on what dirt sheets, because they probably don't even know. And if Punk was so mad, why is he going out there getting jobbed out like that on national TV and for everybody? If he's that mad, if he's so hard to work with, if he's such a poison, why is this happening? Seems to me like he did good business here. I won't say good business. He did business here because the business wasn't good. This match just made it was bad for business, if anything. This match was just, it doesn't even make the sense. He's referencing the time. It's just within minutes. It was just over. It was just over. That's what he's referencing. He's not referencing the drunk or anything part. The match was just over. Like you blink and it's like, what just happened? And the part that is the worst about this match itself is the placement. Why are you putting this? If that's how the match is going to end, don't do a time limit. Just put it out. Just put the match out there and just have the match and have Mox do that. Cut his promo after the match, and that's how you end the show. That's how you at least put a Band-Aid over this whole booking situation nonsense stuff. I'll get to that too in a second, Simon. But for the people wondering what main event's the pay-per-view now, we'll get to that. But we'll get to how the show did end. And for it to end the way it did and not the way I just said, to me is a slap in the face to Moxley, your world champion. He's your world champion. He just had a massive moment and beat the piss out of CM Punk and then cut a phenomenal, passionate promo afterwards. End the show with that. And it's like, okay, what happens next? I'm ready. They didn't. They left me the rest of the show to wonder what the fuck just happened. And it was just dumb. Moxley, yeah, always. I'd rather fight for the Punk was trying to sell tickets with that Hangman thing. But that story isn't even. I don't even know. Like there's so many stories been broken on. It's like I don't know what to listen to. I don't know. Let's see. I have no idea. Either it was mad that he would have vacated. So there's something. I don't know. It's going to have people talking, so I guess that's not an entirely bad thing. But holy shit, I don't think it's going to be. They're not going to be talking in the good way. That's for sure. People were expecting MJF return. This shit happens. One thing I like about AEW is they know very well how to. And here's what else. yeah, they did fuck up this match. They did. Like, I don't know. I don't know. But the MJF thing is like that's on the fans. AEW at no point said this was happening. Dirt Sheets, Dave Meltzer is like, he's on his way back sometime soon. So if fans were speculating and thinking it was happening, that's on them. I'm not putting that on AEW that MJF didn't show up tonight. I personally thought he was doing it tonight too. Didn't happen. That's not on them. That's on me for putting that out there for myself. But that doesn't excuse the rest of the show. Let's see. What main events did I? Okay, I'll touch on this before we go any further. I don't fucking know. Because if Punk was selling the injury after the match, he did that when he was getting carried back. He even had that moment where he looked back at the ring as if he's like saying goodbye. That was the moment that catches my attention too. Is like, is this it? Is the wheels off? Did the wheels fall? He was gonna do this until the wheels fall off. Did the wheels just fall off? Was that his curtain call? Was he just looking back at the ring, being like, done? So Punk's out of the question. I've seen people say it's gonna be Punk and Mox rematch. No, if he sold an injury like that, he shouldn't be ready back. So no, do not do that. With that said, I don't know. I honestly don't know what you do it all out with Mox. I just don't. Hangman, no, because Tony better pull like some magic rabbit out his ass and fix this, because I just don't know. And you literally have a week and a half to fix it, bro. I'm very curious what the buy rates for the show are going to be, because there's some cool matches, but you have done nothing to sell me on it, especially now that your main event is just kapoof, it's gone, vanished for me. It's gone. You ain't got nothing to sell like the main event of your show. So we'll see what happens. Next week's Dynamite should be very interesting. If they shit the bed on that one, then I don't know where they go from there, honestly. And that's almost heartbreaking to say, because I want this company to succeed so much. And I've been since I've started watching, I've pushed them hard. I've tried to get them viewers when I meet. Like, I've really tried to help, like, do my part as a fan to promote the show and point out the positives and the good stuff I like. But I can't co-sign what I just watched tonight. I can't. And from the looks of it, where it's heading, they got a lot of work to do. And with the meeting they had before the show, maybe that has a lot to do with what they're going to be doing for you. I don't know. We'll see. WCW 2000, man. We're going to go a year later than that. It was very weird. It's going to be an interesting week and a half to see. Yeah, it is. At this point, MJF is the Joker is kind of confirmed. I don't even think that's the case. I just don't. Because, again, I think you were in the chat the other day during the pod. I don't think it makes sense to have Tony put MJF in as the Joker of a ladder match that gives him a world title match, when the last time we saw MJF, he was just completely ripping Tony Khan in AEW. It doesn't really make sense. So last year, All Out was fire, but this year, it was the best pay-per-view of the year last year. And now this year's like, you shit the bed, man. Back to the show. Back to the regular scheduled program. Because next up, we had two segments that I was like, okay, I'm with it. I like it. Christian, he's in an arm sling. He cuts just a menacing promo on Jungle Boy. He said he's going to hurt him. He accepts the challenge at All Out. Great promo. Great promo. Just watch it. The Christian stuff just continues to be my favorite thing in AEW right now. Unfortunately, it'll be over. No, it probably won't be after All Out. So that's good. But yeah, it was good. And then that's followed up by Ricky Stark's promo. He comes out. He's passionate. He's crying in the ring. You can tell. Love everything Ricky Starks does. You can clearly tell he cares about what he's doing. You see it tonight. And he calls out and he challenges Hobbs for All Out. So another match I'm cool with. It happened, I won't say organically. It happened. I'm willing to give it. I'm not going to shit on the program. I'll put it that way. I do want to see the match. It makes sense to have the match. They didn't really do a whole lot, but we're getting Ricky Starks and Hobbs on a pay-per-view, so I can't be too mad. It's complete doo-doo. I won't even say complete doo-doo, because like I said, the opening segment, I liked. The first match, Dax and Jay Lethal, was phenomenal. The Christian segment was great. The Ricky Starks promo was fun. The Mox promo that comes up after this, and look at, like I said last week, there's a formula to this shit. After the first hour, short match, segment, short match, segment, match. That's what they do every week, and that's what happened here. We got another promo with Mox, and this is what I was talking about earlier. Great promo. End the show with this in the ring after he just destroys CM Punk, and have your last shot of the night be of CM Punk looking back at that ring, being like, "Man, it's over." Like that's how you end the show. Anybody watching, if you're hearing what I'm saying and you think my idea was much better than what we got, just let me know. Let me know I'm right, because I don't want to feel like I'm crazy right now because the ending was stupid compared to this. But we'll get to it. Tidy here. About dang time, Tidy. Where you been, boy? You ain't missing much. I'm just very, very, very sad and upset tonight. It's not the demise of a company, but at the same time, if we're looking at the timing of everything else is happening, you got all the backstage stuff that's circulating and happening, and you've had some shoddy booking for some time now. You've had a few things that have been interesting. You've had a few things that were really good. A lot of the other shit was just been so shoddy. And now your biggest, the match you promoted as the biggest title match in the history of your program, and that's what you did with it. That's not a good look. That's not a good look. It's the timing of it. You know me, man. I'm not one to just come out and just jump to conclusions and shit on things just because I want to shit on things. Like this was horrible. Like horrible. And the timing of it is what I think makes it just so much worse. Can they bounce back? For sure, they can. I want them to. I really, really do. I'm excited to see what happens next week, because they really have to do something next week to be like, hey, All Out's this weekend, buy it. Because this show that they gave us tonight did nothing for it. Jimmy question, who is in it? They don't know. We'll find out next week, I'm sure. Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to point that out, because again, I want the show to. I want to see AEW stuff around. I want it to, because I liked a lot of the stuff they do, and I think there's so much more they still could do. Don't give us anything like tonight ever again, and get shit in order. I hope all of the stuff that's being rumored backstage is just nonsense and just blown out of proportion. I really do, but okay, we'll get to that part in a minute. Good, because that kind of touches on what I was saying. So now it's time for the main event: Death Triangle versus United Empire. Sucks because not the match. I'm not saying the match sucks. It's not for me because it's got the Lucha Brothers in it. So I immediately check out. Hate it. I hate that's a fact, but I can't help it. I can't get into the Lucha Brother matches. I do like Will Ospreay, so I kind of tried to pay attention. Aussie Open, those guys, I've seen them a few times. Really enjoy what they got going on. But man, the Lucha Brothers just ruin things for me. They're just not for me. So the match itself just wasn't for me. Towards the end, things got a little bit interesting. And again, so I told you my plan for the main event, where you have Mox destroy Punk and then cut that fire promo in the ring as Punk's being dragged to the back and giving that lasting look, and then you cut. That's my ending to the show. Their ending to the show ends with Pac noticing the Kip Sabian box guy in the front row, and he approaches him, and he snatches the box off his head, but it's someone with a thing over his mouth. It's not Kip Sabian at all. But then here comes Kip Sabian, and he takes out Pac. What's the referee doing? We don't even know. They don't even acknowledge it. They don't show it. They don't do anything. Whatever. Okay, I'll suspend my disbelief for this. Okay. Kip Sabian's back on TV. He's going to be back in the ring. Thank you. I've wanted this for a minute. I'll allow it. So then Kip Sabian attacks him, takes him out, and then leaves through the crowd. Crowd was into it. Kip. They want to see him back. Okay, that's fine with me. Then back in the ring. Obviously, United Empire, they end up taking the match. They have the numbers advantage at this point. They win. Celebrate in the ring, and then guess who comes out? Of course, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega come out to close the show, as they are just on the apron, and they're being held back by Don Callis as the United Empire is in the ring going, yeah, so they're hyping up that match. That's not horrible, but why is this the closing of your show when Jon Moxley did what he did? It doesn't make sense. You're spitting on Jon Moxley, in my opinion. You're spitting in his face, and he's not going to see it that way. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions. Maybe I'm just being too harsh. It doesn't make sense for you to not end the show with that and you end it with this. Just doesn't. It doesn't. You it just doesn't. I'm not going to speak anymore on that because it just doesn't make sense. The same bait and switch angle they did with Lumis. I didn't even notice that, so I'm not going to hate. I'm not going to hate on it. I mean, people would borrow stuff from each other all the time, so I'm not going to. Pac and Will offer. I'll watch Pac and Ospreay. I'm not watching anything with the Lucha Brothers. I just can't. So here we go. Young Bucks as the VP leverage their position to be main events. That I don't do numbers for ratings because I think ratings are a joke these days, and it's not because they're low. It's because ratings just aren't a big deal anymore. But I will say yes. I'm not leverage their way. They just say, "Hey, we're doing this. That's what we're closing the show for," and it. I will gladly listen to any explanation anybody has as to why that should have closed the show over what I said should have closed the show. And I'm not doing fantasy booking. I'm just saying for things to make sense, for moments, for closing shots in a show. What I've given you and said 3 times now is infinitely better than what we got. The closing of Kenny and Will Ospreay and the Bucks and again, it's okay. That's not how you end a show. That's just not. You don't. Okay, and here's my problem with this. Omega is not 100% back to where he needs to be for this match to happen and be cool. I know a little of their history, and I do want to see Ospreay and Omega. I don't want to see it this soon from Omega's return from injury. I want Omega to get his wheels again. I want him to be ready for this match, not kind of nursing himself back in. That's me. I don't know. 30-minute time limit drop. That wouldn't surprise me. A lot of another the go home show for all I was gonna be. I'm sure they're just gonna randomly, and again, I don't care that that's how they do it. Whatever. I'm not going to say he's not ready, but he's definitely not going to be the Omega we want to see in a match against Ospreay. For the heat these guys have online and going back and forth at each other, I want to see Omega take it to Ospreay, and it's just not going to happen if he's not at the very least like 90%. He's still ring rust. We saw it last week. He didn't look fantastic. He looked good. He didn't look fantastic. The one-on-one will be a little bit down the road. Ospreay will likely face Pac for the All-Atlantic. Do you know, David? Hit me up with the Will Ospreay's contract situation in Japan, if you can. Aren't they worked? No, I don't think he's injured, but he's still rusty. He's out for a good bit. He had a lot of surgeries. There's no way he's ready to go full force in a match against Ospreay, especially with someone like Ospreay who's going to be going balls to the wall the entire match. Like, it's just not going to be that. He's not ready for another one-on-one with Will. Will can be vicious. Feels very, very, very vicious. the Dark Atlantic Championship. I've yet to see it be defended on a show, so that was, I don't know. Yeah. I just don't know. I don't know, man. That's the show, everybody. I wish I could have came with some energy, and I wish I could have told you how good it was, how much fun I had, and all this other stuff. And man, put the title match, not only having it in the middle, it just sucked the air out of the show to me. It did. And maybe it is a little bit to do with the fact that I'm a Punk fan, but I'm not, until I know why it happened that way, I'm not going to be like, that was incredibly stupid. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What the fuck just happened tonight? That sums it up right here. Tidy LMAO. Yeah, exactly. Not expire anytime soon, and we need to be granted a release. Okay, so then, yeah. I thought that maybe they were building towards something where he could come to AEW, but I guess maybe not. Oh, this is something back to this Young Buck stuff. Thank you for pointing that up, Invisible Hand. Where'd it go? Okay. Now I can't say 100% that this is what they do. Can't do. I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out like 10 years down the road when people are bitching and complaining about how things in AEW run. I don't know. We'll see. I can't say for certain this happens. But it does seem like the Young Bucks always insert themselves into things on TV to make themselves present. This is very similar to some other people in the past that are completely shit on for doing those things. That's all I'm going to say about that part. And I still cannot fathom why this ended the show. I just can't. Make it make sense. I want them to make sense. Could it be done? I wish I knew, man. I wish I knew. Man, we were on such a high. I hate that I'm coming across as negative on tonight's show. I really do. That's not what I want to do. That's not the brand I'm trying to put out there for everybody. I want this to be a happy place, a positive pushing moment, a positive pushing place. I want people to be like, yeah, I'm here because I enjoy wrestling and I like that he's got this take on it. And I'm not on Twitter just being negative like 80% of other people are. But man, last week was just so great in wrestling, and then Monday was great, and then we have All Out. We have Clash at the Castle coming up. NXT was even really good the last few times I've watched it, and then they got a takeover coming up. Not a takeover, a Worlds Collide with the UK. There's just so much to be excited for, and it's like maybe that's why I'm taking this show so hard, because I was so excited, and it just so. Fingers crossed. Hopefully next week we are back on track. AEW, please. Think we might see a multi, but who? If MJF returns next week, you put him in a title match. That's dumb. I'll say it. Like you're gonna build that match on like 4 days. That would be dumb. It would be dumb. All I can assume is the title match was an early to protect kayfabe, like they tried to present it as it meant to go lump, and the injury was. That's how I'm gonna assume they went with this. Is that they were trying, because I pointed out they did at the top of the hour because it had an hour time limit. They wanted to give the belief that it could go an hour. I get it. I get it. And then he re-injured himself. So what you're saying makes sense, and I'm going to assume, just like you are, that that's what they're going for. But again, with so many reports coming out, we don't know what's real and what's not at this point. So it's like, what's happening? The talent meeting they had before the show today, I think, is very telling. And when notes come out about that over the next few days, I think we'll have a clear picture as to what might be happening. And see, I don't think we do this because he's tied up with the Elite storyline and he's supposedly with the Dark Order, and everyone just assumes that it's going to be the Elite versus the Dark Order in the finals at All Out for the Trios title, and Hangman Page will be tied to it in some way, so he can't be in the main event with Mox. So I just don't know. The Big Show. That wouldn't surprise me right now. That's how down I am about this stuff, man. Please give me a good show next week, Tony. Please. Bring my faith back up. I'll clearly watch All Out, but give me a reason to at this point. As David pointed out earlier, I can't find it because there's been quite a few comments. One show doesn't kill a promotion. Absolutely 100% doesn't kill a promotion. So I'm not gonna. This is the end. I know that's gonna be a big thing tomorrow. This is the wheels are falling off. This is the end. AEW in the mud. Blah 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 blah. Just the timing is just bad. Oh, yes, please do. Right now, is this happen? Like, you have an update on this meeting? Because I'm curious. I've seen nothing about it other than Tony said something about he emailed or sent a letter to WWE about not messing with talent. I don't know. We'll see. But, yeah, that's the show. I'm rambling at this point because I'm just really kind of upset about the whole same show. But, yeah, so... All right, man. I'll look for that because I'm dying to figure something out about this show to make it make sense. My man Simon said, trying to make it make sense because, damn you, show. But yeah, so with that, we got some stuff on WrestleMania this weekend. It'll be better than what we watched tonight. maybe, probably. We got the Captain's Table on Saturday. They got some good stuff over there. I can't do it, unfortunately. Sorry, guys, but we have a good table over there. You should check it out. Woosah. Bro, I need all the woosah I can get right now. Thanks for jumping in, though, Miles. I appreciate it, man. And then Sunday we have our weekly podcast, and then Buddy Wars. If you didn't check out Buddy Wars from this past week, go check it out. Maddie Laws taking on Simon. It was good stuff. Go check it out and make sure you vote who you thought booked the show better. And then we'll have another one on this Monday. It's going to be Captain from the Captain's Table taking on Chinwag Dan. So they're rebooking some old WCW stuff, I'm pretty sure. So that'll be fun. Check it out. And then I'll be back on Monday for the Raw recap. Hopefully I don't have a Raw recap like a Dynamite recap tonight. And with that, I'll say goodbye because, oh man, I need to go to bed. So goodbye, everybody. Peace.